Let us pray. Almighty God, who in your wisdom and goodness have appointed the offices of leaders and parliaments for the welfare of society and the just government of the people, we beseech you to behold with your abundant favor us, your servants, whom you've been pleased to call to the performance of important trusts in this republic. Let your blessings descend upon us here assembled, and grant that we treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just and a faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, fair of our country. Next order.
Order number 1, administration of oath.
Next order.
Order number 2, communication from the chair.
There is no communication. Next order.
Order number 3, messages.
Next order.
Order number 4, petitions.
There are no petitions. Next order.
Order number 5, papers.
There is a paper to be laid by the Honorable Peter Njoroge, the chairperson on Committee on Early Childhood Education and Vocational Training.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. My name is PM Njoroge, MCA from Morindat, and also the chair for Education Committee. Mr. Speaker, I beg to lay a report on Nakuru County Early Childhood Development Education, ECD feeding policy report. I beg to lay the paper.
Thank you. The paper is properly laid before the House. Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
There is a notice of motion by the Honorable Chairperson, Committee on Early Childhood Education and Vocational Training.
Mr. Speaker, sir, once again, I beg to give a notice on the report of Nakuru County Early Childhood Development and Education ECD feeding policy. Thank you. I beg to give the notice. Thank you.
It's a notice of motion. Yes. Next order.
Order number 7, statements.
There are no statements. Next order.
Order number 8, resumption of debate.
Honorable members, you remember that we started debating the address of Her Excellency the Governor last week. And so we resumed debate this morning, and members are free to continue with the debate. The Honorable Member for Kerrigat.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Tribute to the speech of Honorable Her Excellency the Governor, and I'm going to pardon. Mr. Speaker, sir, when Her Excellency gave a speech, she really reinforced on the issue on the health sector, and she talked of improving the health in this county. And I really want to concur with her, and more so on the efforts that she has made in our government to ensure that various facilities, health facilities in the county are functional, and those that are just been idle have been operationalized. Sincerely speaking, health, as you are quite aware, Mr. Speaker, is a very crucial sector that needs to be allocated a lot of resources. I do remember in our agenda, the 10-point agenda, she promised the residents of the county that she is going to do every effort to ensure that the provision of health services in the county are paramount. And indeed, we have actually seen the step that she has taken. As she's doing so, Mr. Speaker, sir, I want to say that there are still quite a number of issues that are supposed to be looked into. For instance, most of the health facilities that we have in our county, the dispensaries and also the level 4 hospitals, do lack a lot of facilities. And we really want to urge the concerned people to make every effort to ensure that these facilities are actually provided. For instance, I made an impromptu visit to one of the facilities in my ward yesterday, Kerenget. Kerenget is regarded as a sub-county hospital, and surprisingly, the major facilities that are required, for instance, the X-ray facility, is not available. Leave alone, we've got a lot of dilapidated old rooms that need to be renovated. When we take into the account the funds that we get in the wards, this money aren't enough. And I want to beseech the county government to make every effort to ensure that they also set some funds to rehabilitate some of these dilapidated facilities, because health is something that is so crucial and very important. More so, there are quite a number of small facilities, the health centers that were started. We've got quite a number, particularly in Kuresoi South, that was started way back in 2012, and they've not been in use. We want to ask the health sector to take into the account. And this will be in line with what our governor is really after. She wants to ensure that each and every village, each and every location at least has a health facility. Lastly, Mr. Speaker, sir, I do believe that the county government, through Her Excellency, should also look into the staffing. Staffing is a bit challenging. Most of the health facilities also do not have the right establishment of the staff. And as a result of this, therefore, Mr. Speaker, something has to be drawn into that request from the people. Otherwise, we want to echo what the governor has done so far, so good, and we believe in her that she is going to do more investment in the health sector. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Thank you. The member for Keringet. The member for London.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity to allow me to join hands with my fellow members in regard to governor's speech. In terms of agriculture, and we know agriculture or farming is the backbone of this country. Number one, I believe the speech of the governor really covered well, where we usually lose food products during harvesting, post-harvest losses. And to some extent, I can see there is road networks that will help our farmers to be able to get foods to the market in real time or to the storage facility so that we can be able to do away with post-harvest losses. The other thing, Governor has constructed tea buying centers, 24 tea buying centers that will help our tea farmers to be able to get their products in those as they are taken to the farms. Then there is distribution of peredrum and avocados, where our farmers have been given these seedlings so that they can be able to do the planting. That will help in terms of agriculture in a way. Also, there is she's been able to uplift the small scale farmers in terms of supplying those seedlings and also creating how they can be able to have credit so that they can be able to continue doing their agriculture that really helps their family, and also in terms of agribusiness within this country, this county. Mr. Speaker, also in terms of education, we have seen there is a program that is running that she really promised, the UJI program that has helped muchly in terms of present. Our pupils in schools are present alwaysly, meaning that it has enhanced presentism of our young people at school to an extent. I believe I believe it will help us in terms of ensuring that in terms of education, we are able to help our young generation. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity.
Thank you. Honorable Doreen.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. I also want to thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to comment on the governor's speech, which was very, very good. And I would also comment on the issue of the sports. I saw the governor talking about rehabilitation of the Keringate Sports Complex and the Naivasha Sports Ground, and also the Hafra Stadium. So, Mr. Speaker, being a member of the Sports Committee, I must commend that the work is ongoing and it is at a very good stage. And we had a site visit as members of the Sports Committee. We saw the Keringate Rehabilitation Sport Complex, and it is really good. And also we got an assurance from the governor during a speech that she assured us of our contribution to the 2027 African Cup of the Nation to be hosted in here. So, Mr. Speaker, sir, this one is a very good, is a very positive thing that our county will contribute to the 2027 African Cup of the Nation, because we have seen the Afra Stadium that it is in a very good stage of the construction. That is an addition and a plus to our county. So, Mr. Speaker, sir, I think the speech of the governor was quite good, and if all is implemented, the great people of Nakuru will be very happy. So, Mr. Speaker, sir, thank you so much.
Thank you, Honorable Member. The Honorable Member from Visoi, the Honorable Chamutai.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity. Mine is to upload the speech of the governor, especially when it's come to the water shortage in our county. The governor has improved on water projects, drilling of boreholes, and also putting solarization. This has helped so much because of scarcity of water. Also on the issue of roads, during the floods, many roads were damaged, but now we have seen that there is improvement on the road networks, and has helped a lot during transportation of border and also vehicles. So it is very important that the governor has done much in 1.5 years. Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Thank you. The Honorable Member for Barut.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity. I rise to comment on Governor's speech, particularly on roads. Mr. Speaker, if you can see Marisha Barabara program, it has left a very big impact, especially in our wards, all over the county. So we say big up to Mheshimiwa Governor for initiating that program. Number 2 is the issue of bursary. In fact, bursary has left a very big impact, particularly to our students in our wards. Nowadays, they are not being chased home because of lack of school fees. They are all in school, and we say thank you to Madam Governor. Finally, what I would like to add to our Excellency the Governor, maybe is to have a fair distribution in terms of headquarter money. In different wards, particularly Barut, we have never have anything from the headquarter, so we are requesting, if it is possible, at least to be considered, to have at least even one project from the HQ. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. The Honorable Member for Kiptoror.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for this opportunity. I want to comment on the Governor's speech, and I first want to talk on the issue of agriculture.
Sorry, the Honorable Member, for the record, have your seat first. For the record, the speech is available on your pads. so that now we're able to follow up. It's part of the documents for this session. And so the Honorable Member for Kiptororo, proceed.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I wanted to actually comment on agriculture sector, and I heard the governor talking about the distribution of assorted pyrethrum and avocado seedling of combined value of Kenya shillings 48.8 million. We actually we saw the Department of Agriculture actually doing this. However, Honorable Speaker, we want to ask the Department of Agriculture to actually come up Honorable Speaker, we want to ask the Department of Agriculture to actually come up so that we can know if the seedlings of the pyrethrum were actually planted. Since the year 2022, when we came into office, the year 2023, and now we are in the financial year 2024-2025, we are still spending the same and even more amount of money on the same. Are these seedlings being planted? That is the big question that we want to ask these departments, so that we cannot keep doing the same thing the same way and expecting different results. We want to know the number of farmers who benefited in the year 2022-2023. We want to know the number of farmers who benefited in the year 2021-2022, so that we can look at the results. And if this money is being spent and there is no results, then we must come up with another different approach, so that we cannot spend such amount of big monies without much results. Honorable Speaker, just as Honorable Member said on the issue of sports, actually they are doing a very good work. But when I looked at the first idea of the Keringate Sports Complex and how it has been done now, what is being implemented is totally not the same with the first architectural design which was there before. So my biggest question is, if dreams are being killed at an early stage, are we really going to achieve? Honorable Speaker, we are compiling a report on that site visit, so that this House can discuss keenly. A lot of monies were allocated to Keringate Sports Complex, but what we were surprised as a committee to realize that anyway, maybe it was for short-term solution, but our big question as committee is, if the same was implemented, it was actually a very good structure. But some other small structures are coming up. Maybe when we bring and table the report on the same, Honorable Speaker, this House will be in position to look at that. Honorable Speaker, we want also to comment on the health sector, that Honorable Governor is working on the level 4 hospital. And being one of the beneficiaries for the financial year 2022-2023, my ward has benefited in that one. But my biggest question also to the Department of Health is whether the recommendation that this House have been giving has been implemented. Because every other time the reports of health has been brought to this House, Honorable Speaker, nothing has been happening in the ground. Mheshimiwa Governor is working on our side, but I guess there are some people sleeping in their offices. Honorable Speaker, I come from Kiptororo Ward,
a very fast ward. And I have 4 facilities which are completed and they are not in use. I have 1 dispensary which has got only 1 nurse since its inception in the year 2015. Honorable Speaker, the recommendation are there in the shelves. No one to implement. We want also to ask the implementation committee to come up with a report on how these reports have been implemented. And if these recommendations are not implemented, let us task the people who are supposed to implement. Na kama wameshindwa na kazi, Honorable Speaker, we need to send them away and have competent people who are in position to do this better. Honorable Speaker, I want to lastly comment on the issue of Imarisha Barabara. 2 weeks ago, the Imarisha Barabara program came to my ward, and one of the machineries broke down. It is now 10 days since the machinery broke down. It is there lying idle, and time is going. Mheshimiwa from the other ward is expecting the same machinery iende kwake. When will this issue of machines breaking down be sorted? Mheshimiwa Speaker, I want to say that this program actually is bringing a lot of impact, but to some extent, it is very slow. And I can say, since the changes were done, and the CEO of then engineer was taken to the other department, the Department of Roads actually is deteriorating. I can say that without fear or contradiction. So, Honorable Speaker, we want to ask each and every department to take up their task and actually work to help this county achieve the great vision of our governor. Otherwise, thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you. The Honorable Member for Dori Ward.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this chance. I want to applaud on the speech of the governor. On one issue, as a Vice Chair of Environment, there is tremendous changes in the project that is being projected to be done in the next financial year. Bearing in mind in all the wards, there's about 196 projects yet to be done. And already there's at about 27 boreholes that have been drilled. Mr. Speaker, water is life. And the water is one of the essential commodities that we require in this county. Being one of the manifesto or agenda in our governor's campaign days, he promised the Nakuru County that we will have sufficient water, and this is the step forward in achieving the same. With 27 boreholes, yes, already drilled, 24 solarization, I think that is one of the main agenda. In my ward, Mr. Speaker, we already have 5 boreholes that have been solarized in the last 3 years. On the same issue of water and climate and environment, we have planted a lot of trees in the subsequent years, which I think will translate to good environment, rain water that farmers and our Wanjiku will harvest so that it can supplement the already water that is in place. In terms of trade and industrialization, Mr. Speaker, the way forward to bringing employment to our youth is industrialization. The way China and other developed countries have gone, we need to also as a Nakuru County, to set aside some funds so that we can have industries within our county, so that we can attract investors, we can ensure that the infrastructures are improved, so that we can have our youth employed there, getting finances or payments. Bearing in mind in Naivasha, we have a special economic zone that was set. I think, Mr. Speaker, that report will ensure there is commodities coming in Nakuru County, investors, and there will be money circulating around. In terms of our awards, there is a lot of shades that have been, market shades that have been rehabilitated and constructed at the same times. That translates to Mamamboga and Wanjiko and border riders. They are safe, and that is a very good environment for them to work. In terms of, on the other side, Mr. Speaker, I want to bring to attention of the County Enterprise Fund that has been set aside by this county government of Nakuru. The County Enterprise Fund, in terms of implementation, setting 25 million is one thing. Implementation is another thing. As a member of County Assembly, we need to have a clear way on how this money will be distributed to our people back to the ground. So that, Mr. Speaker, when, as a member of County Assembly, ask that question, I can have the policy and the framework that I can answer, and also be included in that committee or on that distribution of those funds. Otherwise, Mr. Speaker, I want to tell my, in terms of infrastructure and loads, there is a member of County Assembly of Kiptororo that have said on issue of Imarisha Barabara. In fact, Imarisha Barabara is one of the areas that we also need to look at. In my ward, in the same capacity, in my ward, I had this machine for almost three weeks. But in terms of machine breakdown, it is very high. It's something that we need as a county to look at so that we can ensure our county is given value for money. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member for Dodori. Honorable members, we are going to resume this debate in our afternoon session, so that will be the last part of this debate. And so we will proceed with it then. Next order.
Mr. Speaker, those are the orders of this sitting.
Honorable members, this House starts adjourned to 2:30 p.m. this afternoon. Thank you.